Rumors are flying about a possible return of a franchise legend, a shocking twist that could make a division rival even stronger, and a major move to upgrade the offensive line. Plus, a surprise name has entered the conversation as a potential game-changer for the Bears' offense. And to top it off, there's a market shakeup that could secure top-tier protection for Caleb Williams once and for all. You won't want to miss this, so let's dive right in. If there's one name that gets Bears fans dreaming, it's Khalil Mack. The defensive powerhouse who used to terrorize quarterbacks in Chicago might be on his way back. But hold on, this isn't a done deal, and there's a nightmare scenario that could leave Bears fans heartbroken. Here's the inside scoop. The Chargers are in serious salary cap trouble, which means they have to make some tough decisions. The hot rumor? They might cut Mack loose, making him a free agent for any team to grab. The Bears, already showing interest, would likely be at the front of the line. But here's the twist. Things might not go that way at all. According to reports from ESPN and AM 670 radio, instead of letting Mack walk, the Chargers could trade Joey Bosa to clear cap space instead. And guess which team is eyeing Bosa? The Detroit Lions. That's right. If this happens, the Chargers would keep Mack, Bosa would land in Detroit, and suddenly, the Bears would have to face a terrifying Bosa-Hutchinson pass rush twice a year. That would be a brutal hit for Chicago. And even if Mack does become a free agent, there's no guarantee he returns to the Windy City. Other teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are already circling, ready to throw big money his way. So what should the Bears do? If Chicago goes all in on Mack, they'd have a dominant edge rush, pairing him with Montez Sweat, who was a steal last season. But that would also mean less money to fix the offensive line or bring in a much-needed wide receiver to help Caleb Williams in his rookie year. On the flip side, Mack's return would instantly boost the defense and bring veteran leadership to the locker room, something you can't put a price on. No matter what happens, this situation is about to shake up the entire market. If Mack is cut, there will be a bidding war. If the Chargers keep him and trade Bosa, the Bears will need a new plan for the defensive line ASAP. Meanwhile, the Lions could become even bigger NFC North threats. So here's the big question for you. If you were running the Bears, would you break the bank for Khalil Mack? Or would you spread the money around to fix other weak spots? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is going to be intense. And speaking of make-or-break moves, let's talk about the offensive line. With 3 starting linemen possibly leaving, the Bears desperately need reinforcements. The problem? They're not the only ones. The Vikings are just as desperate to protect their quarterback, and they're going all in on landing one of the top free agents. Will Freeze from the Colts. Chicago can't afford to sit back on this one. The battle for the best O-line talent is heating up, and the Bears need to make a move, fast. Bears fans, let's talk offensive line, because this decision could make or break Caleb Williams' rookie season. One name that's heating up the free agent market? Will Freeze. And let me tell you, this guy is no joke. Before a Week 5 injury last season, Freeze was dominating, a 92.4% pass-blocking win rate and 74.3% in the run game. Translation? He's one of the best young guards in the league. Even after the injury, ESPN ranks him as the second-best interior offensive lineman in the 2025 free agent class. That's elite company. Market projections have Freeze landing a 4-year, $56.5 million deal. That's a big investment, but for a position as crucial as interior O-line, it could be worth every penny. The Bears have nearly $80 million in cap space, so they can afford to make a splash. Freeze would fill a major hole in the line and give Williams the protection he desperately needs. But here's the catch. He's coming off a leg fracture. Are the Bears really going to throw that much money at a guy with an injury red flag? Meanwhile, the Vikings are just as desperate for O-line help. Since Kevin O'Connell took over in 2022, their interior line has been a disaster, constantly allowing pressure and struggling in the run game. With a new QB, maybe J.J. McCarthy on the way, they're all in on protecting their guy. Their cap space is tighter than Chicago's, but their need might force them to outbid the Bears. If the Bears don't want to pay big for Fries, they could look at guys like Drew Dahlman or Aaron Banks, but neither of them brings the youth, upside, and versatility that Fries does. Now picture this: Bears versus Vikings in a bidding war for Fries. Whoever loses might be stuck with a shaky offensive line in 2025. And in the NFC North, that's the difference between contending and falling behind. Worse yet, if Minnesota wins, the division just got a whole lot tougher. Should the Bears go all in on Will Fries to lock down the O-line, or should they play it safe and look for value in the draft? What's your move, Bears fans? Drop your take in the comments. This battle with the Vikings is about to get crazy. The Bears' free agency plan is clear. Stack the trenches on both sides of the ball to protect Caleb Williams and dominate opposing quarterbacks. But there's one underrated move that could be the secret weapon for 2025. What if I told you Chicago might be overlooking a major need? That's right. We're talking about backup quarterback. Caleb Williams is the undisputed QB1. Tyson Bagent has some potential, but are the Bears really going to bet everything on a young QB with no experienced mentor in his corner? Enter a surprising option: Jimmy Garoppolo. Before you roll your eyes, hear me out. He's not coming to start. Jimmy G would play a bigger role, a mentor, a seasoned vet who's been to a Super Bowl and thrived in top-tier offenses. He could help fast-track Caleb Williams' NFL development. And here's the kicker: he's a hometown guy. Born and raised in Illinois, with roots at Eastern Illinois University, a return to Chicago as QB2 sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood script. Successful teams with young quarterbacks always pair them with a veteran. Look at Andy Dalton mentoring Joe Burrow or Jacoby Brissett guiding C.J. Stroud. If Caleb Williams goes down, are the Bears really comfortable with Bagent running the show? He's shown flashes of talent, but let's be real, he still has limitations. Garoppolo might not be the Pro Bowl talent he once was, but as a backup, his experience is priceless. Last year, the Rams paid Garoppolo $31 million for one season, a small price for insurance and leadership. The Bears have the cap space to make this happen, and compared to their other free agency priorities, it's a no-brainer investment. Other teams are already showing interest. The Giants, Jets, Raiders, and Colts are all in the mix. But let's be honest, who has a better pitch than Chicago? A hometown gig with a storied franchise on the rise is hard to beat. If the Bears want Caleb Williams to succeed from day one, they can't overlook the details. Adding a veteran presence like Jimmy G could be the final piece to the puzzle. Bears fans, it's time to weigh in. Should Chicago bring in Jimmy G to mentor Caleb Williams, or has Tyson Bagent earned the QB2 job? This debate is about to heat up, so drop your takes below. But let's shift gears, because while QB talk is exciting, protecting Caleb Williams is priority number one. The Bears know this, and they're ready to go all in on offensive line upgrades. One name rising up their target list: Aaron Banks from the 49ers. If there's one thing the Bears can't afford in 2025, it's letting their rookie QB get hit over and over like so many before him. Banks could be the solution. With 43 starts over 4 years, he's proven he can anchor a legit offensive line. He's a strong physical presence who knows how to protect his quarterback. But here's the big question: what will he cost? Projections: 3 years, $29 million, and fair for a solid guard, but there's a catch: injuries. Banks has never played a full season. He's missed at least 2 games in 3 of the last 4 years, including 4 games in 2024. If the Bears are moving on from Tevin Jenkins due to injuries, does it make sense to invest in another guard with similar concerns? A safer approach? Hit the draft hard. The Bears have solid picks and could land a young stud like Tyler Booker, Alabama, or Jonah Savaia, Arizona, in round 2. Bring in Banks, let a rookie compete with him, and let the best man win. Suddenly, the offensive line looks deep and dominant. Another wrinkle: Banks thrived in Kyle Shanahan's system, one of the best in the NFL. But can he keep that same level of play without an elite scheme propping him up? Or is he just a system guy who fades elsewhere? The Falcons and Panthers are also eyeing Banks, and with quality guards in high demand, his price could skyrocket. The Bears can't afford to hesitate. One thing is clear: if Chicago wants Caleb Williams to succeed from day one, They need to act fast. Banks isn't perfect, but he's a damn good option. Miss out on him, and it's Plan B roulette. Do you take the risk on Banks despite his injury history? Or hold on to that cap space and trust the draft? This decision could divide the fan base, so let's hear your thoughts. From the possible return of Khalil Mack, to a bidding war with the Vikings for Will Freeze, to Jimmy G potentially mentoring Caleb Williams, and now the hunt for Aaron Banks. Every single move could shape the future of this franchise. So tell me, which move is an absolute must for the Bears, and which one is a trap? Drop your takes below, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell, because free agency is about to bring the heat.